name is Batil. I'm 19 years old and I'm studying at the University of Wollongong for a film degree. So I started my filming journey when I was in Norway. I was transferring from the French system to international system, and it was during an art class. Everyone had to choose either to do a clay sculpture or stop motion. Most students all chose to do clay sculpture, and me and another student tried to do stop motion. And I was 11 years old at the time when it happened, and I kind of started enjoying it a lot. Kind of discovered a new passion to get myself into like this new bubble where I would get occupied all the time. And then we moved to the southwest of France, and I decided to kind of challenge myself and do a proper skiing montage. So I would spend like weekends just filming while we would go skiing in the mountains and then assemble the videos and do something kind of cool. I spent like weeks or probably a couple of months working on this. I showed it to my parents, my family, and then I think they were like, that you have skills, like you have a talent, you need to develop this further. Like it's crazy doing this at your age. And then in the US, we were doing this whole trip, family trip for like 3 weeks in Colorado. And I told myself I was gonna do a really big film. Like, let me actually try to challenge myself and do something like that will take me probably months. And I was probably expecting a couple of years to edit this, honestly. And anyway, so the 3 weeks went by, I accumulated like crazy amount of videos. I don't know, like thousands and thousands of videos, I remember. And then at Christmas, my parents were getting this whole brand new laptop because the other one I was using was really, really old, like 10 years old or something. And I remember in January, it kind of like glitched, but I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, it's okay. Well, you know, I'll just turn it off. I'll use it in the next day. And I did that, but the next day it wouldn't turn on. And then I was like, oh, that's really weird. So I kept on trying for like, I think 3 days. And then I was telling my dad, and I was like, Dad, something's really wrong. Like, I need to know if my project is saved, if everything like is working and stuff. He was like, I don't really know, and blah, blah, blah. But it was really not turning on. Then he was like, it's okay if it's shut down, if it's dead, like, at least it's probably saved on the hard drive. So I was like, okay. Like, I was really, really worried, I remember. And then it was definitely dead. My parents were like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, so they were like, you can check on the hard drive now on the new laptop. It's probably there. So I go there. I check. I couldn't find anything. Then I kind of start realizing everything. I'm like, I think I'm actually losing all my work. And then I kind of start breaking down. And then my mom, she's looking with me. She's like, no, hold on, it may be there or there. I was literally going crazy. Like I was literally clicking on everything I could. And then I found 1/10 of the work I've been working for like 6 months. Honestly, everything like, as if like came, like it was just crashing down and my brain was like empty, and I was so sad. I was sad for weeks and weeks. I told myself like, I'm never gonna film again. Like, this is not for me. So I kind of forget about this whole like filming thing. And then I had to choose my subjects for IB, the International Baccalaureate, for my 2 last years of high school. And there was filmmaking by a teacher who really knew me, and she's like, do like a little crash test of if you can do the subject next year. Like, and so I went in the classroom, and there was also a bunch of other people, but honestly I just sat down and I really didn't care. I was like, I'm not gonna do this anymore. Like, it's not for me. Like, people are probably much more talented than me, and they probably have much more skills than me. So I wrote scripts. I was really into it. So I was like, oh, that's actually fun, writing scripts and stuff. But again, I really didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, it will just pass on. It was just like a thing. Me and my sisters, what we would do is we would play tennis every single day for like 2 or 3 hours in the morning, because that was the only thing we could do. After a few months of playing tennis for 2-3 hours, we were kind of fed up. And then on that day, when my sisters grabbed the thing, she's like, oh, let's take it to the tennis court. So she takes it to the tennis court, the Gambler, takes my phone and she starts running around with it. And then she's like, oh, like your thing is crazy cool. Like, it's stable. Like, look, the videos, they look so cool. They look like they're professionally done. And I was like, oh yeah, like, didn't even look at it. I never even used it. I never wanted to use it. So I was literally discovering the thing that my parents bought me. So then my sisters are like, yo, you know what? We should do like a film, like a tennis thing. Instead of always playing tennis, like it could be a whole morning activity. So yeah, I don't know. We spent like the whole morning filming this whole thing. They were really into it. So I started editing it. I uploaded everything on my laptop. And I remember a thought in my head when I started editing it. And I was like, I missed editing, and in my head I was like, how did I not film or edit for all this time? It was so crazy in my head. I remember I was like, damn, like, why did no one tell me? Why did I not do anything? Why did I not tell myself? Again, I just did that for the fun, and then I think that's the video that got me back on track into filming. So I was like, no, like I need to actually take this seriously. Let's go back on that path. And when I came to the university, before even enrolling, I remember my mom who sent me this like film festival in the university. So I remember I saved that email for a long time in my inbox. I looked back at this email and I was like, oh, there's some prizes, you know? Maybe I could try to attempt. I've got nothing to lose deep down. So I used this film video that I was doing on the tennis court with my sisters, and I re-edited it. So then I applied, I sent it to the university. I was like, look, like that's my advert. Yeah, and so I received that email and they were like, you're nominated. And then I actually ended up winning a prize where I got a scholarship. I was so happy. I was so happy. I remember I was shaking when I walked on stage. I actually couldn't believe it. The whole night I couldn't believe it. I called my parents. They were so happy. They were like, what? Like, that's so cool. So that was really like, I think that was like the biggest accomplishment I kind of did, I guess, in film. And all this came from like the fact that my laptop crashed and I couldn't believe in it. And I was like, no, I'm gonna stop doing this. Like, I will never do this again. Until me winning a prize, a scholarship at university, pursuing something I never thought I would actually end up doing. So like, people like don't give up on what you think you're good at. If you're good at something, pursue it. Why would you stop it? Use it as your advantage. Just do it. You have one life. Why would you overthink about stupid stuff? Just go for it, honestly. Just don't give up. Just pursue whatever you want to pursue.